Let's go ahead and get started in child's pose, please. So welcome to class, everybody. If you need some direction to get there, you can start on your hands and knees, tabletop position. Bring your big toes together to touch. Sit your hips back toward your heels. Now you have a couple options. You can spread your knees wide, or you can bring your knees together. Fold your torso over your thighs and bring your forehead resting onto your mat. So if you have to make a choice, if you need a priority, bring your forehead resting on your mat. So make any little adjustments you need to. Give a little wiggle, give a little fidget, just try to settle in. And there we go, it's yoga time. Now the reason to support your head on something is when your head and neck relax, it's a signal to the rest of your body, it can relax as well. So when if you think about it, like if you were to give up in a struggle, even if it's something playful, or maybe the last thing you do before you settle in to go to bed is your head and neck relax. So your neck muscles relax, the rest of your body relaxes as well. So try to be aware of that sensation, see how that feels. So it's just you, your mat, and gravity to begin with. The first thing to do is just pay attention to your breath. Just pay attention to it. Don't have to do anything to manage it and monitor it. We're going to do that as we go along. Just notice your inhales and exhales. So notice your body inflates and rises a little bit on your inhales. Then as you exhale, your body sinks a little bit and relaxes. Maybe you notice the cooler air coming in through your nostrils as you inhale and warmer air coming out of your nostrils as you exhale. Just take a moment to literally connect with your breath. The whole point with a Vinyasa flow practice is to link breath with movement. So we're giving lots of cues to link your breath and your movement. So your breath really guides everything that goes on. It determines your pace, it determines your effort, and your breath serves as both your metronome and your barometer. As your metronome, you move at your pace. So everything is linked. I'll be giving lots of cues. And as far as the barometer goes, it really tells your body, tells you how your body is responding and reacting at any given time. So if you're ever inhaling greedily or exhaling desperately, that's a good indication. Take a little break, come back to child's pose, regain your strength, and come back and join us when you're ready. A tradition with Yoga to the People is we use collective breaths. These are vibrational breaths that you can take, and I'll be cueing these as well. Now, it's a little different with everybody not hearing each other as well, but there are lots of benefits. It relaxes your face, relaxes your central nervous system, but most importantly, it makes sure you take complete empty exhales in order to take complete full inhales to replenish your body with oxygen, which is the fuel your muscles use throughout class. Now, your inhales take care of themselves, so I give a lot of extra emphasis on exhales. Let's try one of those now. Wherever you are in your breath cycle, turn it into an exhale, squeeze your lungs empty all the way to the very bottom. Hold your lungs empty for a beat. Now take a deep, full inhale through your nose, feel your rib cage and lungs expand all the way to the very top, sip in a little more air, hold for 2 beats. Open mouth, exhale, HA, ha, all the way to the bottom, squeeze your lungs empty, ha. Anytime that feels advantageous or beneficial, you go right ahead. Maybe people around you in other parts of the house may think you're a little bit of a weirdo, but that's all good. And here we go. Let's have some fun. Begin to, nice and slow, nice and gentle, bring some movement and motion into your child's pose. Maybe you rock your forehead side to side, massage between your eyebrows, feel the texture of your mat on the skin of your forehead. Maybe carry that motion down your spine and into your hips, rock your hips side to side. And now begin to activate and engage. If your arms are not long out in front of you, go ahead and crawl your arms forward. Maybe spider crawl your right fingertips a little forward, then your left fingertips. So it's like a little bit of a swimming motion. Stretch one side of your rib cage and then the other. Maybe tent up on your fingertips. Lift your wrists and forearms off your mat. Engage a little more. Maybe even push down. Maybe try to stretch your mat. Send your hips back closer toward your heels. In some engaged position, let's take a breath. It's going to feel a little bit different. Go ahead and exhale. Take a deep, full breath in through your nose, all the way to the very top. And let it go with a sigh. Next inhale, come up to tabletop position. That's all fours. Spread your fingers as wide as you can. So try to stretch the webbing between your fingers. Set your hands directly beneath your shoulders to stack your wrist, elbow, and shoulders in one straight line. Bring your knees directly under your hips. Take an inhale, drop your belly, lift your head, lift your tailbone, move into cow. Look up. Then as you exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin, look at your navel for cat. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your head, try to touch the back of your head on your tailbone as you look up. And exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin, really spread across your shoulder blades for cat. Now move through a series of these on your breath. Maybe you point your elbows outward when you move into cow, maybe traction your wrists back towards your knees, stretch your abdominals. And as you exhale, point your elbows back, creases of your wrists forward, maybe press your hips forward in cat, excuse me. Now continue moving through these, use your breath, but invite any other movements you want as well. Maybe bring a shoulder toward a hip, look over one shoulder, try that the other way, sort of a side cat. Maybe you move your whole torso in sort of a barrel-shaped motion, or maybe some other shape that I can't even describe. Just do some exploration, take some physical inventory. Just know your body's a little different every day you come to your mat. I don't know how you're feeling. You may have had surgery recently, given birth, who knows. So just use the body that you have, no judgments, don't worry about it. Now, next time you come into cat pose, pause. So really exaggerate your cat. Really press up between your shoulder blades, try to create a stegosaurus spine, like you're trying to poke your vertebra out through your skin. Take an inhale, curl your toes under. And as you exhale, lift your knees just 1 inch off your mat, so you're just in cat pose with your knees hovering. We're gonna stay here for a few breaths. You may hate this already, but if you wanna try a little more, do cats and cows with your knees lifted. So inhale, go nice and slow. If this feels weird, drop your belly, lift your head, lift your tailbone. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin. Take one more inhale into cat, into cow. Then exhale, send your hips up toward the ceiling, move into downward facing dog. So upside down V shape. And move it around, break it apart. It's not a finished product to begin with. Continuing your physical exploration, warming up, pedal out your feet, straighten one leg, straighten the other. Maybe alternate weight in your hands, so sort of like you're walking on your hands to see how that changes the activation of different muscles in your body. Now, after child's pose, downward facing dog is really our second home base, so let's set up some details. Take a look back to your feet, set them up hip width distance, about the size of your head between your feet. Hide your heels behind your toes, so your feet are like the number 11. And if you're not sure, maybe bring your feet a little closer together. One way to tell is when you lift one foot, if you have to adjust the other one, maybe start a little closer. Take a look at your hands, shoulder width distance, maybe a little bit wider. Spread your fingers nice and wide, point your middle finger toward the front of your mat, and identify the root of your thumb. So it's your thumb pad. Press that down into your mat. Then press the first row of knuckles where your fingers meet your palm down into your mat. Try to get as much skin on the palm of your hands in contact with your mat as possible. The reason for this is so you learn to use your forearm muscles. You don't just load up weight onto your wrists that can cause aggravation. Bend your knees, press your tailbone up toward the ceiling, press your heart toward your thighs. Stretch under your armpits, side to the rib cage. Maybe straighten your legs a little bit and soften your ankles or your heels down toward your mat. Next inhale, send your right leg straight back behind you. Take a look at your right toes, flex your toes toward your face, and point your right toes straight down. Point your toe, right toes, inhale, kick your right leg up nice and high. And as you exhale, bend your right knee, stack your hips, and move around your right leg. Now, if you want to do the active version of this, press your right palm into your mat and pull your right hip away from your right rib cage, lower ribs. Maybe twist your ankle, bend a knee, swivel a hip, maybe look under or over your left arm, point your right knee straight up toward the ceiling, maybe open up a little behind you. Next inhale, send your right leg up and back. Exhale, drop your right toes down on your mat. Next inhale, send your left leg straight back behind you, so horizontal. Squeeze your left leg straight, press equal weight into both hands, press your heart toward your thighs, and then squeeze your right leg straight. Point your left toes, inhale, kick your left leg up nice and high. As you exhale, bend your knee, stack your hips, move it around. Now you can do the same thing on the left side as you did on the right, or maybe try something different. If you want that more targeted version, actively press your left palm into your mat. Pull your left hip away from your left lower ribs. Point your left knee up toward the ceiling. Maybe try to press it behind you, maybe a little further back away. Swivel your hip, bend your knee, twirl your ankle. Inhale, square your hips, keep your leg up high. Exhale, drop your left toes down to your mat. Take an inhale, look forward to the front of your mat. And as you exhale, take a nice casual tiptoe stroll. Walk yourself into forward fold at the front of your mat. Now, do as little as you can when you get here. Bend your knees a little or a lot. Drape your torso over your thighs and let yourself hang as heavy as you can. So literally feel the weight of your brain in your skull and just let gravity help you just relax and release as soft as you can possibly can. Maybe grab for opposite elbows, sway side to side and ragdoll. Maybe interlace your fingers behind your head, not to pull down, but just to have some extra weight, just to help gravity, help your spine relax and lengthen. Maybe hug behind your knees, pull your torso down toward your thighs. Now take a look at your feet, set them up hip width distance. If you want to measure, that's 2 soft fists firmly between your inner arches like capital letter H. Take a look at the outside edges of your feet. Make them parallel with the sides of your mat. Those probably toes in, heels out a little bit. Next, inhale, come up for a half lift. So bring your hands to your shins or your thighs, avoid your knees. Nice flat backs. Suck your low belly up and in. Press your fingertips into your legs. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and arch your upper spine. Now look down about 2 or 3 feet in front of your toes. Take the wrinkle out of the back of your neck. Rock some weight forward on your toes. Pull up in your kneecaps, engage your front thigh muscles. As you inhale, arch your upper spine, press your tailbone toward the ceiling. Then as you exhale, lower just a millimeter. You're looking for sensation along the backs of your legs. So it's a little bit dynamic. An active pose. Inhale, pull your shoulders away from your ears, reach the crown of your head forward, weight forward in your toes, ball of your feet. Exhale, soften just a millimeter. Take one more inhale, lengthen forward, and exhale, release, forward fold. Next inhale, come up for half lift, arch your upper spine, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Exhale, bring your arms by your ears, reaching forward. Next inhale, just tilt your body up, rise up to extended mountain pose. Now we're just standing with our arms over our heads, but this is yoga, so we make it a little more complicated. Maybe you close your eyes, but bring attention to your feet. Maybe rock side to side, forward, back a little bit. Get some input from your feet, see what's going on. When you close your eyes, you take away your primary sense, and then your other senses get to do some work as well. Now lift up in your inner arches, press down on your big toe mounds, and rock 2/3 of your weight back into your heels. Engage the muscles in your lower legs, build a nice strong foundation, engage your front quad muscles, and pull your kneecaps up. Now suck your low belly up and in, tilt your tailbone down, create a little bit of pelvic tilt, lock that in with your strong core muscles. Now as you inhale, pull your rib cage up as you grow up nice and tall and activate your fingertips. Each inhale, feel as though you're growing and floating, and then each exhale, soften weight back into your heels. Straighten your elbows, bring your pinky fingers a little closer to each other, but it's not your pinkies, it's not your hands, your wrists, or your forearms. Actually wrapping your triceps a little closer toward each other, broaden across your upper spine, soften your shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, inflate, nice and proud, maybe think you shine your sternum up toward the ceiling, and exhale, soften. Take an inhale, look up, maybe a little bit of a back bend, press your hips forward, and then exhale, slowly hinge forward, forward fold, completely drain your lungs on the way down. Put that to breath. Inhale, sweep your arms up, rise up, extended mountain pose. Maybe press your palms, drive your fingertips toward the ceiling, maybe a little back bend. When your exhale comes, hinge forward, forward fold, completely exhale. One more time like a wave, one breath, one movement. Inhale, ride it all the way up. Maybe cactus your arms, shine your heart up toward the ceiling. And when your exhale comes, let it go, forward fold, complete exhale on the way down. Inhale, half lift, low belly up and in, arch your upper spine, squeeze your legs nice and straight. And exhale, bring your hands to your mat, step your feet back into high plank position and pause. We're gonna be here for a few breaths. That gets to be a little too challenging or it brings you back to, junior high school gym class that you just kind of hate. You can always lower your knees down to your mat. Set up your hands like we have in downward facing dog. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Press as much skin on the palm of your hands into your mat. Maybe grip with your fingertips. Maybe try to lift the heels of your hands. Just activate your forearm muscles. Stack your heels directly above your toes. Squeeze your legs straight. Traction your hands back towards your toes. So create a little pelvic tilt. We're just doing the horizontal position here. Now we're going to set up our chaturanga flow. We do it a whole bunch. We do it to breath. Stay with me on the first one. As you inhale, press away from your mat, rock forward. Exhale, slowly lower just halfway down. Lower is not better. Inhale, upward facing dog. Uncurl your toes, just the tops of your feet on your hands on your mat. Straighten your elbows, maybe look up. Exhale, send your hips up. Downward facing dog, curl your toes back under. So that's our vinyasa flow. We do it a whole bunch. You can take a bunch of modifications. I'll offer some of those as we go. But I think of it as a good opportunity to resynchronize with your breath. So don't throw it away. I'll talk you through a few. All right, let's take a breath. Exhale into your lungs. Take a deep full inhale through your nose. And open mouth exhale. Hollow out your armpits. Wrap your triceps toward each other. Press your heart back toward your thighs. Use your arm strength to press weight back into your feet. Next inhale, send your right leg up and back. Kick nice and high, nice and slow, nice and controlled. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose, round your spine, tuck your chin, look at your navel. Inhale, send your right leg up and back. Exhale, bring your right knee to your right tricep. Look over your right shoulder, but lift your left hip. Inhale, send your right leg up and back. Exhale, cross under your body, bring your right knee to your left elbow, try to make them touch. Inhale, send your right leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose, step your right foot between your hands. Now take a nice long stride, maybe send your left leg further back behind you, drop your left knee to your mat, untuck your left toes for a low lunge, runner's lunge. Now go easy, it's still early, but look for sensation on the front upper left thigh, left hip flexion. Press your hips down and forward. Maybe press some weight into your right heel. Bring your hands to the top of your right thigh, interlace your fingers, and push your thigh muscle away from you. So stack your shoulders directly above your hips, press your hips down and forward. Interlace your fingers at your low back behind you, and drive your knuckles down toward your mat as you press down, and maybe shine your heart toward the ceiling. Release your grip, bring your arms up overhead. Interlace your fingers, release your index fingers, steeple grip. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, Gerard, a line along the ceiling toward the back of the room for a little back bend. Take one more inhale. Exhale, release. Place your hands on your mat. Step your right foot back, downward facing dog. Next inhale, send your left leg up and back, kick nice and high. Exhale, without momentum, bring your knee to your nose, look at your navel, pull your thigh up into your rib cage. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, bring your knee to your left tricep. Look left, but lift your right hip. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, left knee to your right elbow. Try to make them touch. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose. Step your left foot between your hands. If it doesn't reach, nudge it forward with your hand. Take a nice long stride. Drop your right knee to your mat. Uncurl your right toes. Press your hips down and forward. Isolate the top front of your right thigh, hip flexor. Now you can activate a little more. You can press the top of your right foot into your mat. Maybe lift your right knee. Interlace your fingers on the top of your left thigh and push your thigh muscle away from you. Press your hips down and forward. Again, activate your right leg a little more. Maybe press the top of your right foot into your mat. Stay here if you want. Want to try something else? Interlace your fingers at your low back and squeeze your palms together. Straighten your elbows. Drive your knuckles down, so it's the back of your right hand on your inner right thigh. Maybe look up. Release your grip, arms up overhead, and release your fingers. Release your index finger, steeple grip. Inhale, reach as high as you can. Then exhale, trace a line across the ceiling, maybe a little back bend. Shine your heart toward the ceiling. Take one more inhale. Exhale, release, plant your hands. Step your left foot back, downward facing dog. Next inhale, send your right leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose just one time. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose without momentum. Step your right foot between your hands. Now spin your back heel down on your mat. Inhale, arms up, rise up, warrior one. Now, it's all about your foundation. So think about your back foot. Point your left toes about 45 degrees forward. You can take a look. Create some space between your feet so it's a little more like train tracks than balance beam. Squeeze your left leg straight. Use your left glute to press your left hip forward. Tuck your tailbone down, suck your low belly up and in. Now, use your arms as levers, bring your biceps by your ears. Soften your shoulders away from your ears. Activate your fingertips. Face your palms toward each other, like your palms are excited to see each other. Stack your right knee directly above your right ankle. Take an inhale, sit low, reach high, maybe a little back bend. Exhale, slowly bring your hands to your mat, frame your right foot, step your right foot back, and move through a flow. Exhale, slowly lower just halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog, straighten your arms. And exhale, downward facing dog. Now left side, inhale, send your left leg up and back. Exhale, step your foot between your hands. Pivot your back heel down into your mat. Inhale, sweep your arms up, rise up, warrior one. Left foot doesn't reach, just nudge it forward. Pivot your back heel down, arms up. Now squeeze your right leg straight. Press the outside edge of your right foot into your mat. Lift up in your right inner arch. Now think about you're pivoting your right thigh bone up into your hip socket. Use your right glute, press your right hip forward. Bring your left hip back. Put your tailbone down towards your mat. Suck your low belly up and in. Big active fingertips. Each inhale, maybe reach up a little higher. Activate your upper half. Each exhale, maybe soften into your lower half. Think about scissoring your inner thighs together a little bit. Build a nice, strong foundation. Take one more inhale. Sit low, reach high. Maybe you look up, look back. Exhale, slowly bring your hands to your mat. Frame your left foot, step your left foot back, and move through a flow. Now for a flow, you can skip the lowering part. You can just go right to an up dog. You can go right back to down dog, doesn't really matter. Now, when you get back to downward facing dog, keep it moving, one breath, one movement. Warrior one time on the right side, one time on the left side, with a flow after each. Take it away. I'll talk you through the first one just to get the rhythm. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, step your foot between your hands, back heel down. Inhale, arms up, rise up, warrior one. Exhale, hands to your mat, and take a flow. Use your breath to guide your movement. It's your pace based on the pace of your breath. Inhale to move and exhale to move again. Very nice, Candace. Very nice, smooth movements. Julie, you look like a pro. If you get back to downward facing dog, keep it nice and active. Still moving, keep moving. Use your arms to press weight back into your feet. Press your heart toward your thighs. You can always bend your knees, press your tailbone up toward the ceiling a little bit. Let's take a breath together. Exhale, empty your lungs. Take a deep, full breath in through your nose. And let it go with a sigh. Now bend your knees a little bit. Come way up on your tippy toes and straighten your legs. And then soften your heels down toward your mat. Just see if that changes how different things are engaged in the backs of your legs. Next inhale, send your right leg up and back. Exhale, slowly step your right foot between your hands. Pivot your back heel down. Press your hips down and forward. Inhale slowly, arms up, rise up, warrior one. When you get there, open up warrior two, right arm forward, left arm back. And notice the choreography of your feet. So bring the outside edge of your left foot parallel with the back of your mat now. Maybe take a longer stride front to back because you just open up that whole length of your hips. So you want to have a nice long stride front to back. And maybe you walk your right foot a footprint or so toward the left so that you have sort of heel to heel alignment between your right foot and your left. Now step your right knee directly above your right ankle so it's not caving inward. You can take a look. If you can't see the instep of your right foot, just nudge your right knee to the right. Press the outside edge of your back foot into your mat, lift up on your left inner arch. Squeeze your left leg straight. Try to get your back leg to do twice as much work as your front leg. Now, if you want to do a self-adjustment, bring your left hand to your left hip, right hand to your right thigh. So stack your torso directly above your hips and just nudge encourage your left hip open, maybe roll your right thigh open. Drive your heels into your mat, squeeze your heels together. Extend your arms as long as you can. Reach back with your left fingertips as you reach forward with your right. Bring a soft gaze over your right fingertips. Maybe close your eyes. Take one more inhale, sit low, reach long. As you exhale, big exaggerated windmill, left arm up, over, forward and down. Frame your right foot, step your right foot back, and take a flow. Back in downward facing dog. Next inhale, send your left leg up and back. Exhale, slowly step your foot between your hands. Pivot your back heel down. Inhale, arms up, rise up, warrior one. Wait till you get there. Begin to exhale. Open up, warrior two. Left arm forward, right arm back. Adjust your stance if you need to. Maybe a little longer, front to back. Engage your right thigh. Press the outside edge of your right foot into your mat. If you want to do a self-adjustment, right hand to your right hip, left hand to your left thigh. Stack your torso directly above your hips. So it's like you're squeezing your right ribs a little closer to your right hip by using your outer oblique muscles. Drive your heels into your mat, pull your heels in toward each other. Notice how that creates buoyancy in your lower body. Soften your shoulders away from your ears, and the triangle points of your shoulder blade, just soften those down the outsides of your rib cage. Bring your gaze over your left fingertips. It's not like a staring contest. It's more like your gaze is just bouncing off the tops of your fingernails off into the distance. It's called drishti. Take an inhale, spread your fingers wide, reach front as you reach back. Exhale, big windmill, right arm up, over, forward, and down. Frame your left foot, step your left foot back, and move through a flow. Slowly lower, just halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog, just the tops of your hands, the tops of your feet on your mat, bottoms of your hands, and exhale, downward facing dog. All right, put that together, one breath, one movement. Warrior one, warrior two, one time on the right side, one time on the left side, with a flow after each. Off you go. Inhale to move, exhale to move again. And literally like it's flowing, you feel your body flow through space and feel your breath flow through your body. You're never really stopping. You're just pausing momentarily as your breath transitions from an inhale to an exhale or an exhale to an inhale. Inhale to move and exhale to move again. And don't worry about all the little details. Just abandon any of those expectations. There's no judges' tables, no scorecard, there's no grading on a curve. Very nice, Sarah. Oh, Janine, good morning. If you're moving, keep moving right where you're supposed to be. If you're in a downward facing dog, keep it nice and active. Flatten your palms into your mat. Spread your fingers as wide as you can. Hollow out your armpits. Wrap your triceps toward each other. Let's take a breath. Exhale into your lungs. Take a deep, full breath in through your nose. And let it go. Exhale. Inhale. Look forward to the front of your mat. As you exhale, hop, walk, jump, float. Front of your mat. Forward fold. Take a look at your feet. Set them up hip width distance if you want to measure. Two soft fists. Bring your toes in, maybe heels out. Inhale, half lift. Arch your upper spine. Reach the crown of your head forward. And exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Next inhale, bend your knees. Sit your hips low. Bring your arms up. Chair pose. Now rock weight back into your heels. But look at your second toe. You want to point your second toe straight ahead forward and track your kneecaps directly over your second toes. Rock weight back into your heels, suck your low belly in, and try to point your tailbone down toward your mat. So you're not arching your lower spine. Keep yourself nice and supported with your core. Knit your lower ribs together. Bring your triceps toward each other. I like to think of like I'm scooping up water and pouring it on myself. Bring your arms back, biceps by your ears, arch your upper spine. Each inhale, maybe think reach a little higher. Each exhale, maybe think a little bit lower. Take one more inhale, sit low, reach high. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Now, get into rest as completely and as quickly as you can. Get nice and softly, nice and dangly. Now, bend your knees if you need to. Grab onto your big toes with your index, middle finger, and thumb. You can do the gorilla version if you want. This is more active forward fold. Inhale, come up for a little mini half lift. You can't come up really high because you're holding on to your toes. Then exhale, pull yourself a little bit deeper into your forward fold. Now don't overdo it. Can make it feel like work, but not regret. But think each inhale Pull yourself just a little bit using your arm strength. Then each exhale, soften belly toward thighs. Now, secret to flexibility is to use your strength. So flexibility is not a passive endeavor. So keep your quads engaged. Keep your feet active. And search for sensation along the backs of your legs. So press your tailbone toward the ceiling. Inhale, straighten your spine a little bit. And exhale, pull yourself just a teeny bit deeper. Come up for a little mini half lift as you inhale. Then exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Next, inhale, bend your knees, sit hips low, arms up, chair pose. Now, press your palms together, interlace your fingers, and rotate your palms away from you. So press your palms away. So each inhale, sit low, reach up and back, and each exhale, press your palms away from you even more. It's like you're trying to pull your rib cage away from your hips. Inhale, bring your biceps back by your ears, arch your upper spine. Then exhale, press your palms away. Maybe sit a little bit lower. See, with all this arm work, you forgot about your legs, right? Inhale, bring your biceps by your ears, arch your upper spine. Exhale, press your palms away. Take one more inhale, sit low, reach high. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Now I learned I have to actually have the backs of my hands on my mat, otherwise I'm actually using some muscle. So do what you can, just disengage completely. Take a moment, take a breath. Now bring your left hand directly under your nose, maybe tent up on fingertips, or plant your hand on your mat, bend your left knee. Now as you inhale, like you're pulling back a bow and arrow, drag your right fingertips up your left arm, across your chest, peel your chest open as you come, pause at your shoulder, and then open your shoulder a little bit as you point your right elbow up toward the ceiling. Now lift your left hip up and back. So everything from your navel down, twist left. Everything from your navel up, twist right. If you want, you can then unfurl your right arm into this twist. Now arch your upper spine. Press your left hip up and back so you don't steal the twist away from your spine. Lots of options. You can go for a little half bind. Bring your right fingertips on top of your left thigh. One more inhale, twist open. Exhale, release. Right fingertips, right hand in front of your nose, bend your right knee. Same thing, drag your left fingertips up your right arm like you're pulling open a bow and arrow. Cross your chest, pause with your left fingertips on your left shoulder, and just encourage your left shoulder to peel open as you press your right hip up and back. If you want, unfurl your left arm. Maybe bend your left elbow, drop your left fingertips behind your back, grab the top of your upper right thigh, a little half bind. Maybe bring your chin to your shoulder, look up, take one more inhale, and exhale, release. Take an inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back to high plank position and pause. Shift your weight into your right hand. Roll over the outside edge of your right foot. Sweep your left arm up toward the ceiling, side plank. Now lots of options. You can stagger your feet, lower to a knee, drop an elbow. But create a rainbow shape of the body. So press your left hip up toward the ceiling. If you think it's high enough, go a little higher. Press both hips forward. Option to reach your left fingertips forward. Lift your left leg. Take one more inhale. Exhale, slowly bring your left hand to your mat. Shift your weight into your left hand, roll on the outside edge of your left foot. Sweep your right arm up toward the ceiling, side plank. Now left and right can be very different. Okay, to take different options on different challenges. Press your right hip up toward the ceiling, then a little more. Press both hips forward. Maybe right arm forward. Maybe lift your right leg. Take one more inhale, press away from your left shoulder. Exhale, slowly bring your hands to your mat. Inhale, press away, rock forward. Exhale, slowly lower halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog, just the tops of your feet, hands on your mat, look up. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Nice work, everybody, beautiful. Super strong. Let's take a breath, exhale into your lungs. Deep full breath in through your nose. And open mouth, exhale, ha. Now think about spreading your sit bones together, apart from each other in downward facing dog. It's like you're almost like twisting your feet ever so slightly into your back. Just look for sensations. All right, here we go. Inhale, send your right leg up and back. Exhale, step your foot between your hands, spin your back heel down. Inhale, arms up, rise up, warrior one. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Take a moment, take a breath, set up your warrior two. Maybe challenge yourself a little more, maybe take a longer stride front to back. Gaze over your right fingertips, flip your right palm toward the ceiling. Inhale, reach forward, then reach forward a little more, bring your armpit over your knee. Exhale, reverse warrior, right arm up and back. Now it's more of an upward reach than any sort of back bend. So you're trying to isolate the right side of your rib cage. Bring your left hand, your left thigh, left shin. Want a little self-adjustment. Bend your right elbow, bring your right fingertips behind your head, and then drive your right elbow up toward the ceiling, back behind you to open up. And maybe look at your left foot. Reach your right fingertips up toward the ceiling. As you inhale, try to bump your right rib cage forward, and then exhale, maybe sink a little deeper. Bring your chin to your right armpit, trace your gaze up your right arm, out your right fingertips. Take one more inhale, sit low, reach high, listen closely. As you exhale, return to warrior two. Straighten your right leg so you have two straight legs setting up for triangle. So maybe bump your left foot a little more back toward you. Now in a second, we're gonna bump our left hip back super sassy, but before you do that, just straighten up. So get yourself as straight as you can. Maybe reach your left fingertips a little bit back. Flip your palms open to the side. Bump your left hip back, reach your right fingertips forward, then reach a little more, then reach a little more. Keep your torso right where it is. Just tick-tock your arm, tick-tock your arms, right arm down, left arm up for triangle. Now don't worry about how low you go. Keep your right thigh engaged. Maybe skid some weight into your right foot. Tuck your right butt under. Use the back of your right hand or right arm to help peel yourself open and keep your right leg engaged. Bring your chin to your left shoulder. Take one more inhale. Reach both fingertips away from each other. As you exhale, bend your right knee. Gaze in front of your right foot. Plant your right hand in front of your right foot. Lift your left leg up behind you for balancing half moon. Now you can take weight out of your right fingertips. Reach your left fingertips straight up. Try to stack your left hip directly above your right. You can always bring your left hand to your left hip. Help yourself peel open. Maybe gaze up if you want a little challenge. Take one more inhale, expand in all directions. Exhale, warrior two, slowly step your left foot to the back of your mat. Gaze over your right fingertips, slip your palm. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse warrior two, just one breath. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, slowly windmill your hands to your mat. Step your right foot back and move through a flow. Take a moment, take a breath, shake it out, shake it off. Let me get some blood flow back in your legs. And return to stillness, and let's take a breath. Exhale into your lungs. Take a deep, full breath in through your nose, and let it go with an HA. Next inhale, send your left leg up and back. Exhale, step your foot between your hands, pivot your back heel down. Inhale, arms up, warrior one. Where do you get there? Begin to exhale, open up, warrior two. Adjust your warrior two, nice long stride front to back. Squeeze your right leg straight. And scissor your thigh like your heels toward each other. Gaze over your left fingertips, flip your left palm. Inhale, reach forward, then forward a little more. Bring your armpit over your knee. Stay right where you are. Exhale, left arm up toward the ceiling for reverse warrior. Right hand and your right thigh, right shin, maybe just walk it down a little. Take a look back at your right foot. The reason for doing that is to square your torso off toward the side so you're not doing any sort of a back bend. It's a side bend. Self-adjustment, left fingertips behind your head, drive your left elbow up toward the ceiling. Bring your chin to your left armpit. Trace your gaze up your left arm, out your left fingertips. Take one more inhale, sit low, reach high, reach back. Exhale, warrior two. Triangle, straighten your left leg, maybe walk your right leg a little back toward you. Before you bump your right hip back, bump everything forward, so get nice and straight. The reason for this is just feel the difference. You want to square your body off toward the right. Now flip your palms open to the side, Bump your right hip back, reach your left fingertips forward, then forward a little more, then forward a little more. Tick-tock your arms, left arm down, right arm up. So you can have the back of your left hand, left arm, and the inside of your left shin. You can actually grab the top of your left shin, help yourself twist open and pull away. Your fingertips can reach your mat, that's fine. Lower is not better. You want to keep the integrity of your left leg. Keep tucking your left butt under, peel your right shoulder back. Bring your chin to your right shoulder, look up if you can. Take one more inhale. Arch your upper spine, twist open. As you exhale, bend your left knee, look in front of your left foot, plant your left hand in front of your left foot, maybe a little off to the left. Straighten your left leg, lift your right leg, balancing half moon. Now, left and right can be very different. It's okay to be wobbly, embrace the wobbles. Lift your right leg a little bit higher, flex your right toes toward your face. Beautiful, James. Flex your right toes. Try to stamp your heel on the back of the room. Stack everything nice and open. Take one more inhale, expand in all directions. Exhale, warrior two, slowly step your right foot to the back of your mat. Now, when the panic subsides, just yourself settle in, gaze over your left fingertips, slip your left palm. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse warrior, just one breath. Inhale, sit low, reach high. Exhale, big windmill, right arm up, forward and down. Frame your left foot, step your left foot back, and move through a flow. Ah. All right, beautiful work, everybody. Meet up in downward facing dog. Get to slow things down a little bit. Just take a breath, exhale into your lungs. Take a deep full exhale. Inhale through your nose. And open mouth exhale. So for half pigeon, I'll talk you through it, but always know that figure four or any other alternate, you can always do lizard, something like that if you know it, for the hip opener. Inhale, sit your right leg up and back. If you want, you can bend your knees, stack your hips and move around. Now as you exhale, bring your right knee outside your right wrist. If you're not sure, go a little wider. Shin across your mat. Doesn't have to be parallel, but if you've been doing this pose for a while, maybe you kind of nudge your left foot a little bit forward. Uncurl your left toes. Take a look back and want your left foot directly in the middle of your mat. Now, the pigeon part. Walk your hands back toward your hips. Stack your shoulders above your hips. Invite some sensation in the front of your left thigh, left hip flexor. What I do is I bring my left hand to my left sole of my foot, right hand to my right knee, and then press my hips down and forward. Create some space between your front right thigh and back left thigh so your hips can settle down. You stay here for a whole bunch of breaths. I found this was the way that really allowed me to deepen into this pose. Stay here for the whole pose if you want. When you're ready, maybe lower down to your elbows. Stay here for a moment, make an adjustment, maybe press your left hip down. When the time is right, continue your descent into half pigeon. Now, if any point along the way something doesn't feel right, just abandon ship, roll over in your back, take a figure four. But as you move into half pigeon, same rules apply as we started class in child's pose. Try to support your head on something. Maybe it's your mat, stacked hands or fists, any object around your room, pair of slippers, whatever you have. Reason being is when your head and neck relax, it's a signal to the rest of your body to relax as well. Now, this is a relatively passive pose, but it is still a pose to try to stay involved. As you inhale, just do a body scan, search for sensations in your body. And as you exhale, just try to soften. Now, it doesn't have to look like much, may not even feel like much, but just stay involved. Now, I've been cueing this pose for a few years now. I think it works out relatively well. But just the other night, Thursday night, I took a class. And what I really focused on during this pose was my exhales. So in your exhale, just think about soften. So make a nice controlled inhale. Don't have to emphasize it, but as you exhale, just bring some emphasis and just try to soften into your exhale. take a breath together. Gently exhale into your lungs. Take a smooth breath in through your nose. And exhale with a hum. Try to vibrate your body. And take 2 more cycles of breath, approximately. When you get there, begin to plan your escape. Bring one hand under shoulder, then the other. Lift your upper body up. Go nice and slow, like you're just getting up from a nap and you're like a cranky toddler. Curl your left toes under, lift your left knee. Send your right leg up and back, 3-legged dog if you'd like. Move it around. Maybe a little quad stretch on the way. If you'd like, take a flow, but however you want to get there, we'll meet up in downward facing dog setup for left side. Downward facing dog, when you're ready, send your left leg up and back. If you want to bend your knees, stack your hips, move it around. When you're ready, bring your left knee outside your left wrist. Again, if you're not sure, go a little wider. If you'd like, you can kind of scoot your right foot, bring your left shin a little more parallel. That is not a goal, but just know that this is another avenue of exploration. Maybe walk your right foot a little further behind you and curl your right toes. If you want to do the little pigeon part, walk your hands back towards your hips. Sit up nice and proud. You can even press the top of your right foot into your mat. Maybe that helps you sink a little bit lower. You can even press the outside of your left ankle into your mat. That's how that isolates your outer left hip. And then as you release, you sink a little lower. When you're ready, maybe lower to your elbows. Stay here if you'd like, a couple breaths. Maybe press your right hip down. When you're ready, continue folding forward into half pigeon. And left and right can be very different. We may look symmetrical, but we're certainly not identical. If you're right-handed or left-handed, that holds true in your lower body as well. So my left is much tighter than my right. When you get where you're going, just know it's not a destination. It's all about a little journey to get there along your way. Think about your exhales. As you inhale, just identify a place of activity and muscular activation. As you exhale, just try to soften. And just thinking about it counts. It doesn't happen quickly. It happens really at the cellular level. But it's all about the experience of how things feel as you move. Now I inhale. Now I exhale. And stay present. So what does that mean? So if you think about time, it's like a vector with no dimensions, just going back into time backward and forward into time forward. You're just a point on that line. But if you want, you can get a little bigger. You can go vertically. And that's the experience of being in the present. You can also expand in a planar direction without violating any laws of physics. So as you're in this present moment, just think a little bit bigger than this one little point that's moving along this infinite line. I know you might be thinking about which leg warmers do I buy on Amazon this afternoon. Let's take a breath, gently exhale into your lungs. Take a smooth breath in through your nose and exhale with a hum. Take approximately 2 more cycles of breath. When you get there, begin to transition out like you don't want to. Bring your hands on your shoulders, peel your upper body up, curl your right toes under, lift your right knee. Send your left leg up and back, maybe move it around. Then I invite you to take the final flow of class. And maybe take this at a very different pace than we've done it. Maybe you linger in low plank for a couple of breaths. Give yourself a little gym workout challenge. Maybe you linger in upward facing dog. Really look up, really roll your shoulders down and back. Think a little back bend. Then exhale, downward facing dog also for the final time. And then downward facing dog, maybe think about just a little detail you figured out along the way. Really spread your fingers wide. Use your arm strength to press weight back into your feet. Take an inhale, come forward to high plank position. And then as you exhale, slowly on a count of 5, lower yourself all the way down to your mat for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Leave your hands right where they are. Zip your legs together. Squeeze your legs straight. setting up for low cobra, baby cobra. Exhale, press your hips down into your mat. As you inhale, peel your upper body up. Now squeeze your legs straight, press the tops of your feet into your mat, maybe lift your knees. Now use your upper back strength to lift yourself up. So point your elbows back, maybe you can slide your hands back a little bit. And just use your upper back strength to lift your torso up. Take one more inhale, peel yourself up a little more, maybe look up. And exhale, release, look to your right, bring your left cheek on your mat, bring your arms by your sides, palms face up, let your heels flop open. Bring your chin to your mat, look forward. Zip up your legs, bring your hands behind you at your low back, interlace your fingers. Squeeze your legs together. Exhale, press your hips down. As you inhale, lift everything up. Feet up, legs up, chest up, chin up, and look up to go up now. Press your knuckles back toward your heels. As you peel, roll your shoulders open. Inhale, lift everything, including your pinkies toward the ceiling. And exhale, extend. Inhale, look up, reach up. Exhale, drive your knuckles back. Take one more inhale. And exhale, release, look to your left. Bring your right cheek onto your mat, arms by your sides, palms face up, and let your heels flop open. If you want, you can rock your hips side to side. You can bend your knees, windshield wipe your legs. I like to stay nice and still, but everybody does things that they like as well. Bring your hands on your shoulders. Press yourself up to standing on your knees in the middle of your mat. Set up for camel pose. So about hip width distance, 4 to 6 inches between your knees. Shins straight back behind you, tops of your feet on your mat. Bring your hands to your low back. So your hands begin where your ribs end. Touch your pinkies together, point your fingers down, squeeze your shoulder blades together, squeeze your elbows together. As you inhale, press your hips forward. Then as you exhale, just drop your head back into the cradle between your shoulder blades. And this is camel. You can stay right here. Now keep it active. Support yourself with your torso. Keep your hips stacked above your knees. You don't want to lean back. Shine your heart toward the ceiling. If you want to, you can continue to trace a line along the ceiling and back behind you. If you know what's going on, maybe release your hands, grab one heel, then the other, fingers on the inside, thumbs on the outside. But keep pressing your hips forward, shine your heart up toward the ceiling. Use your back to open your front. Take one more inhale. Then exhale, release. Support yourself. Come out the way you went in. Bring your head up last. Set your hips back toward your heels. Spend just a moment in hero's pose. Sit up nice and tall. So low belly up and in, tailbone down, shoulders up and back. Maybe a little tuck of your chin. And think about your head just floating up toward the ceiling like I'm gently pulling up on your hair. Close your eyes. Hands on your thighs, palms down or palms up or on your lap, whatever feels comfortable. Just take a moment to appreciate getting yourself through another week. We all have our challenges individually and collectively. So good job bringing yourself to your mat for just an hour, personal time. Let's take a breath to celebrate. Exhale into your lungs. Take an inhale full of life, energy, and light. And exhale only the air. Everything else you get to keep. Flood your eyes open. In some graceful manner, send your legs out long in front of you, set up for seated forward fold. Nice little counter maneuver to this back bendy thing we just did. Move the fleshy bits away from your sit bones. Rock side to side. Now I like to do this nice and active. So engage your quads. Flex your toes toward your face, maybe even lift your heels off your mat. Bring your hands by your hips. Press yourself up so you're sitting as tall as you can. Inhale, reach your fingertips up toward the ceiling. Then as you exhale, keep your spine straight. Look at your toes as you reach forward, like I'm pulling your fingers forward into forward fold. And your hands are going to land somewhere. Doesn't matter where. It could be shins, could be toes, outside edges of your feet. Doesn't really matter. If you want to keep it active, think each inhale, arch your upper spine, press your heels away from you. Exhale, slowly soften belly toward thighs. Now, the straighter you keep your spine, the more you activate your hamstrings and isolate your hamstrings. Inhale, arch your upper spine, look at your toes. Exhale, press your tailbone toward the back of the room. Inhale to activate, maybe use a little bit of arm strength, pull yourself a little deeper. Exhale, soften. If you want, you can take it quite passive. You can bend your knees, drape your torso over your thighs, whatever feels good. But just make it a little dynamic. As you inhale, do something maybe a little bit active. And as you exhale, do something a little bit more deepening. Take one more inhale. And as you exhale, release. Paintbrush your fingertips along your mat or the sides of your legs. Bend your knees, scoot your hips forward. Bring the soles of your feet onto your mat. Bring your arms out in front of you, palms to face each other. Rock back onto your tailbone, lift your knees, shins parallel, half boat, flex your toes toward your face. You can always straighten your legs if you want to move into more of a full boat. Gets a little wobbly, but that's okay. I'm only be here for a second. Now press your palms. Inhale, hard up. Exhale, twist your right, look right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist your left. Inhale, back to center, hard up. Exhale, twist your right, look right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist your left. Inhale, back to center, hard up, separate your palms. Inhale, slowly bring your knees to your chest, chest to knees, squeeze tight. Exhale, slowly lower, lengthen, hover, point your toes. Go low boat or canoe. Inhale, knees to chest, chest to knees, squeeze tight. Exhale, lower, lengthen, hover, point your toes. One more time with feeling. Inhale, knees to chest, chest to knees. Exhale, lower, lengthen, hover. Going to be here for a couple seconds. It's harder to stay still. It really works the serratus muscles outside of your rib cage, you know, the sexy ones. If you like, you can scissor kick your feet for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Ha. Bring your arms up over your head, grab opposite elbows, press your heels away from you, press your tailbone into your mat, press your navel toward the ceiling, flare open your lower ribs, hunch your shoulders from your ears, big stretch, whole front side body. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a big squeeze. Roll into a tight little yoga ball. Supine butterfly. Grab the outside, press the soles of your feet together. Grab the outside edges of your feet. Interlace your fingers. I bring the sides of your feet, outside edges up toward the ceiling. And then pull your big toes down toward your heart. Tuck your chin. Try to press your tailbone into your mat. To me, this is a great lower back release. I love staying here. Happy baby, grab the outside edges of your feet. This is an active pose, so bring your knees wider than your chest. Use your arm strength to pull your knees down into your armpits. As you use your leg strength to press the soles of your feet up toward the ceiling. Tuck your chin, get as much of your spine on your mat as possible. Maybe straighten one leg, straighten the other. You want to take a lion's breath, exhale into your lungs. Inhale, squeeze your face like you just tasted a lemon. And then exhale, stick out your tongue. Now move into final resting pose, Savasana. Let your mat do all the work. Legs long, let your toes flop open. Arms by your sides, palms face up. Tuck your shoulder blades up under your rib cage, broaden across your upper back, upper chest. Soften your jaw, soften your tongue, soften your nostrils, soften between your eyebrows, and let your eyeballs feel heavy in their sockets. Relinquish conscious control of your breath, return to normal breathing. Let your body feel as heavy as it can. It's like your bones are softening. Stay here as long as you like. I have a couple of announcements if you want to keep half an ear open. Yoga to the People has always been and remains donation-based. So if you have the ability to donate, keep this practice available to anybody and everybody as we're learning the world over. Any donation is greatly appreciated. I'll put a link in the chat box, but it's yogatothepeople.com/donate. Should not put you in any sort of hardship. We understand that lots of people are going through lots of difficulties, but I know for a fact this practice has been very beneficial to all. So paying it forward is what it's all about. You can check out the website. We have other offerings. We have a masterclass on Wednesday mornings, which is great if you want to do a little deeper practice. We also have a teacher training come up. We have a couple of online little workshops that introduce you to the teacher training, also on that same website. Most importantly, thank you for joining. And even though I didn't get to see you in person, I know everybody's moving together and breathing together and supporting and encouraging each other. And it really is an honor to be able to guide you through your practice. And that I mean for sure. Stay in Savasana if you'd like. If you'd like to come out, you can start to wiggle your fingers and toes, activate your arms a little bit. But try to stay to the point where it feels like you don't want to get up. So when you first get into Savasana, it's like, yeah, no big deal. But if you stay for a few minutes, you then begin to soften. That's really what the experience is about. Stay if you want. If you'd like, you can begin to work your way out. Feel free to unmute yourself if you want to check in, say hi.